This forecast update effective around 1:30 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, October 31st, 2013. And for all of our non-Facebook and Twitter followers, we apologize for not providing any website updates recently. There just hasn't been anything to get excited about in the forecast, but it looks like we are now entering an active phase for this side of the Northern Hemi. We've had 3 major swell events up in here in the North Atlantic, and it looks like a significant swell event is going to set up for the east coast of the United States. We'll show you that in just a few minutes, but there also is the possibility of a little uptick in tropical weather activity coming up at the end of the first week or the beginning of the second week of November. We'll also show you that in today's update, but start you off up in here toward the North Atlantic. The North Atlantic has had 3 major swell events. There's one underway right now with another storm developing in here. Last week, they had the St. Jude storm that produced some unreal surf in this part of the region. Just got a email pic this morning of Surf Camp Nagore down in here in Western Africa, and even they're picking up some incredible waves, clean, tropical, non-wetsuit wearing surf. So if you guys get a chance, check out Surf Camp Nagore. But the next one that's coming is currently what's over the U.S. There is an area of low pressure, a storm that's going to develop over the Great Lakes, and that's going to replace the current storm that we have off the southern tip of Greenland. Now, what's going to make this one a little bit different is there's going to be a wide swath of west winds again. The ocean has already been pumped in this direction, locked in this pattern for 2 weeks now, but there's another one coming, seas increasing in excess of 25 feet in a wide westerly fetch. What's going to make this one unique is offshore winds are forecast in here, I believe, on Wednesday and Thursday, all the way down in here to Portugal. So we've got some swell pulsing in the westerly direction with some offshore winds forecast, at least a window of some offshore winds prior to the winds returning hard on shore. So guys, look out for that. We're going to be checking the latest models and the latest maps and doing an update on that coming. But this should kick off in here on Monday as this area of low pressure over the states moves over the Great Lakes and then moves to the east of the southern tip of Greenland. Stay tuned in for that. Moving you guys back to stateside now, here's the latest thunderstorm color curve, and as you can see, this is the time of year when extremes can happen, guys. It's been 2 years since we had Snowtober. We just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Sandy, and 22 years ago we had the perfect storm. So this is the time of year where we can see extremes develop, and this is what we like to call the clash of the titans, when cold air meets hot air or hot air meets cold. We have cold air filtering in from the southwest portion of Canada in here to the United States, with Pacific moisture filtering in over Mexico and into Texas. Heavy rains into Texas earlier this morning provided lots of flooding conditions, and as you can see, convection is fired up along the front. Now, it's going to be this front that's going to work its way east, and we may see the same setup again of what we're seeing in the Caribbean. Going to switch you over to the rainbow loop of the Caribbean, and here's where the models are starting to hint we're going to get an uptick in activity. Over the last 2 to 3 runs, they really haven't started to develop anything except for the ECMWF came on strong last night and was showing an area of low pressure south of Jamaica. We're going to show you that. Let me switch over to a couple of runs here and set it up for you. Now, this is the GFS. The GFS for next Wednesday, showing that a large high pressure 1038 millibars is going to set off the northeast here. Going to be a long and wide fetch of east-northeast winds, seas increasing probably all the way along the East Coast from the mid-Atlantic down into South Florida, at least into the 5 to 8 foot range. We're going to be watching that as the other forecast models and maps start to come out as we get closer, but it looks like a significant swell event setting up for the East Coast of the United States. Now, taking you over to last night's run of the ECMWF, you can see down in here south of Jamaica showing a 1008 millibar low. Now, with this pattern setup, mind you, the models are showing different stuff, but they're all hinting at this. Matter of fact, the Canadian model is actually showing 2 storms. I don't even want to show you that because we know how the Canadian model likes to overdevelop areas of low pressure. But the ECMWF scares me the most because it's showing an area of low pressure in here, and this pattern right here would suggest movement into the Gulf of Mexico and then up the East Coast. Guys, it's something that we've got to watch. Hurricane season's not over yet. Stay tuned for the next update.